So sorry, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
What are you apologizing for? Just what, being amazing?
No, I like stopped the loop, of the title, and I didn't pay attention to where it was at in the loop, and it was already at the end, so it like literally put you and me on the screen, but I didn't have a chance to mute the mic and mute the music. So I didn't know if you were talking or not, but good morning. Good morning, Orion. Good morning, Elena. And good morning, Brian. Good morning, Mr. Ryan Turner. How's it going?
Hello. Hey, Couch, can we get it just on my mind? I was just thinking, we know where most people are. Where are we at today? Where are we coming from? We got upstate New York. I know that. Orion, I always forget. Are you out in, where is Orion? Orion is it Utah? Someone's over there. Let us know.
Yes, he said.
I feel so good. I feel
Such
so
a
good.
genius, Ryan.
I take my
Such
fish oil. I take my creatine. It's definitely supporting my memory. So
Let's go. All right. So what's going on, man? Back at the gym?
Yeah, new week. It's been a new week. Anyone else going through some big changes? Really positive. I think this week was Lauren's new schedule with work, so it gave me the mornings to parents. So she's leaving early, and then it's me with the whole like wake up and then off to school drop offs and stuff like that, which is like, I don't know how everyone feels about that, but it's like there's a men's group that I go to every other Wednesday, and I was talking about this, and I mentioned it was like I finally feel like I get like this moment to parent, and I was like, I needed this. I needed that moment. I needed my own like parental autonomy, where it's like I'm the voice, I'm the energy, I can make mistakes, right? There's no like, so that's nothing against Lauren here, but it's just the fact of like it's nice to kind of have that moment that that you're kind of moving things along, and it's really good for me to kind of have that structure too. So but yeah, you definitely need those moments with the kids, and I don't feel like there's always that, so it's been really nice to have that. And then so I was usually here Wednesdays and Thursdays, but now I'm here on Fridays because Lauren's going to work from home on Fridays. So anyway, overall, okay. Kind of changed the schedule. It's been good. Thank you for asking. So appreciate that, Dom.
And how's it going? How's it going for Lauren? How's she liking it? How's she getting along?
I haven't gotten all the feedback yet and kind of like how she feels. I'm sure, I think that, I've also been I took on another contract role. So we've both been really busy. And I feel like we've just been like tired. We've just been tired, but in good ways, so.
Got it.
But yeah, nothing negative has been shared. Nothing, overly positive either. So I think we're just kind of feeling things out.
And final question, and then I'll let you go from your interview. And we can get on with the show. But when's the next date night?
Oh, that's a good one, man. Thanks for asking. I don't
September.
know. It might be September.
It needs to be at least before you and I see each other.
Yeah, no, it should be. It's I feel like that traditional like, hey, we have time, let's go to a restaurant. It just doesn't vibe with me.
Yeah.
And so it's like I don't want to find myself sitting at like a table for two at a restaurant. Like it doesn't strike me as anything that is like that's just not. It's not connection. I think for us, like I don't think it's what we need. I don't think it's what we want as much. Maybe her more than me, but it's a good reminder, and I think I just have to get creative with it. So I will take this moment and I will add that to my daily note card. So
but what about like just like going on a walk, or do you guys ever work out together? Like, would you guys be able to go to the gym together, or take a yoga class together, or something active, since you're both active people, and then maybe afterwards just share a coffee or a dessert or something like that? I don't know.
Man, I think it's so good. I mean, this is like definitely a larger.
Go shopping, like if you guys got a reason to go shopping, even if you don't have a reason to go shopping. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that would be good. I think that we are in a moment of, I think, needing to kind of like rediscover each other in our new roles. I mean, like we've been parents for 8 years, but I think
Yeah.
like just there's been so many life things, and I think it's just like, yeah, I think we just need a different kind of connection to kind of revisit stuff. So I will take this as a catalyst to support that moment. So thanks for asking.
Right on, man. Well, as you may know, I'm home. It was an incredibly difficult week of work that still hasn't ended, with a pretty sizable interruption of the final swim meet. So like while I'm busy, I still made sure I made the time for my family, which feels good for the parent side of me, but caused me a lot, a little bit more stress than I wanted it to on the work side of me. So thankfully it's kind of done with. Although the kids only have a couple more weeks of school, and the last weeks of school are usually pretty busy and involved. And then Bentley started soccer, and I just heard that practices are now over, and now he's just going to be playing games from here on out, Tuesday and Thursday. So I'm
Oh,
thinking to
2 days a
myself,
week, 2 days of games, huh?
yeah, it's just it's the kid version, right? It's just like scrambling around madness. They all get into a circle and kick the ball into each other and kick each other and take the ball from their teammates because they don't know who their teammates are.
Yeah,
It's the funny stuff.
yeah.
So I definitely want to, tap in. I think Thursdays won't be a problem. It's whether or not I want to make Tuesdays happen. And there's only like 6 games, so it's like 3 weeks of this, and then it's done. And then the kids will be in summer. So I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know how to make work and life work, but I'll just adjust as I go through, and we'll figure it out. Um, but yeah, and then I had because I'm having such a hard week and because I'm doing all this, I had a moment and a little bit of a meltdown last night, uh,
Okay.
which wasn't my best work, but it wasn't my worst work either. So
Okay.
we're working
Wait, hold
through
on.
it.
I'm not connecting with. Wait, hold on. Do
Go
you
ahead.
want to talk about the meltdown?
Yeah, I put it in the parents chat, but I don't think you've been in there yet. So it was a homework situation where we had soccer last night. So my wife, or when I got home from work, it was very much we were in the environment of everyone was just hanging out, and we knew we had soccer coming, so we had maybe an hour or two to hang out. And I think both me and Amy had talked to Brooklyn about her homework, and it was very much like, yeah, I don't have any homework for tonight, but I do have missing assignments, but I don't really know how to do them. Like it was very much like that kind of thing. Like I don't want to do them, know how to do them, etc. And then we kind of like give her the leash, like let her run it until it gets to the end of the night. And I don't know why it has to be this way, but I think it was just Amy's version of not blowing things up too early in the evening,
Okay.
versus we get home from soccer at like 7:30 and it's like, hey Brooklyn, you haven't done any homework, any of your past assignments, you got to do it now. And dad's still alive, so he can help you because it was math or something like that. And I just didn't have it in me, man. I just didn't have the energy. I couldn't deal with, like I asked one question about the math and she got real quiet, and it
Okay.
wasn't like even a difficult question. So I don't know what happened. And I even asked her, I'm like, I don't know why you're not answering this question. It's a super easy question. Like, why are you getting emotional? And I saw it happening, and so I walked away. And I was like, I gotta remove myself from the situation. I don't want this to happen. And then it's just, I don't know. I lost it a little bit. And it was more so me just being upset that I like failed again, you know, that I couldn't get myself out of being frustrated with her not responding to a simple question on what seemed to me to be a simple assignment that when we asked her previously, she didn't just pop up and be like, "Oh yeah, I have this assignment. Can you just help me with it?" Like in da 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 da. And she waited till like the last moment. And even then, it would have been a pretty easy assignment. And I woke up today and came downstairs, and her and Amy got it done. You know, for what it looks like, they got it fully done and colored and everything. And yeah. And I woke up this morning and I had a text message from Brooklyn saying like, "I'm sorry, like I love you," like all that kind of stuff. And then I just woke her up before the show, and I you know, she was really like in the sleepy wake up mode, but I was like, "I'm sorry, honey, like I shouldn't have acted that way. I was a butthead." And she's like, "No, it was me." And like I appreciate the exchange, but like I don't want her to. I think Chels brought it up a couple of weeks ago or something. Like I don't want her to think it's her. You know, like it's not really her. Like everything that she's doing is because of me, like the way that we raised her and stuff like that. But yeah,
Okay.
that was kind of the story.
Do you feel that it would be wrong if some of it is her?
Well, I'm sorry, I'll take that back. It was her. Like it's the way that we interact with each other, but like that part of her is still something that like we essentially trained her to be, like or gave her the space to turn into that, you know, that version of herself, like to get shut down when. And the other thing I was thinking about is like I was doing the thing that we've talked about on the show where it's like I was talking over her and to her and at her at a higher level, like looking down on her and all that stuff. And I was like, I thought about it this morning. I'm like, I should have been on her level. Like her mom was on her level. So it's like, you know, it's just it's just very different. Like it's very different and apparent, like the two parents that we are.
Yeah.
But I think Amy needed me. She wanted me to step in because she had already had a day of it or multiple days of it. So she asked me for help, and I couldn't make it happen. I couldn't do it.
I hear you, man.
So we got another day.
Well, I mean, I want to just from what I'm hearing, not as if I'm giving advice as much as just saying I love to hear that there was the open communication from that resolution side, right? I think sometimes the worst thing a kid can have is the lack of a resolution. When these moments, I think, really come up, right? I think that the anger is going to happen. I think that the frustration is going to happen, and I think our kids need to know that, right? Our kids have to know that even, you know, depressed feeling is okay, just like excitement's okay. You know, I think that, you know, having a day of not doing anything is great, just like a day of needing to get things done is also good. But, you know, with a day of doing nothing comes the resolution of trying, you know, getting things done. And I think that a day of feeling depressed, there needs to be a resolution of, you know, being able to kind of pick yourself up and kind of find the good in certain things to make yourself feel good. And I think that when there's a day of anger and yelling and whatever else, I think that it's the resolution that becomes the most important thing, and accepting that it is going to be there. Like they're going to yell, they're going to get upset. But I think right now, I think it's almost, I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but I think it might be a waste of energy to try to force ourselves to think, don't yell, never yell. It's just not going to be there. That's just a normal human emotion. But what we need to normalize, I think, is that resolution piece. And as long as they can kind of see that, they can understand that there is going to be that yin and yang, right? That back and forth. And I love the fact that she texted you. How many parents out there like don't get that text? So you guys, while you're thinking, I think that you are in a position like, oh, we made her this way. We gave her that room. Well, obviously you did something amazing where she's communicating with you and she texted you. How incredible is that, dude? So that gives me a lot of confidence and I think direction for myself to kind of make sure that we're there too as parents. This morning we had Sloan walk to school on her own. Now, granted,
Ooh.
it's the street, but it is Lauren. Obviously, with these schedules, she had to leave before like the usual drop off, and so we had texted yesterday, be like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? And I was like, I think this is a great moment for some autonomy. I'm big on autonomy. I want our kids like let them use the knife. Let them understand what fire can do. Let them go make breakfast on their own and then, mess everything up. And so they can kind of learn from it all. But yeah, she went up to school on her own, and it was definitely something where, I want to kind of hear kind of what came of it. I think it's really good. So.
Yeah, you gotta, I know you're not gonna, dude. So, but I'm still gonna waste my breath, buddy. You gotta read that book. I've been talking about it this whole time. Not the obstacle is the way, but the self-driven child. But it's a very like strong book about autonomy and parenting, and that's really cool. I'm sure it helped her. I'm sure it helped her a lot. Like it's very much about building up the kids like self-confidence and showing her that you trust her, and like what a boost that was. I bet that she was like, yeah, my dad trusted me to go on this walk by myself, even though, like you said, it was a short walk, but she's also still young,
Yeah, there is.
That's one of the easiest things to let kids do, because for a fact that there's going to be a ton of parents there, and most of us parents are around that age of kids. They're all kind of the same, and her friends are there, and it's very much a see something, say something. So if she were ever in danger, there'd be 3 other parents that would at least be like, oh, yeah, hey, honey, no, don't cross the street right now, or don't get into that van. Like, she was still very much safe. Watch out for those bikers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, and you practice these things. Like, we're going to cross the street. I want you guys to tell me if there's a car coming, right? All those kind of things.
Yeah.
You got a picture of her at school from her teacher. She got there safe, right? So, but Lauren did text so like we're friends. Like we know the crossing guards that are kind of around. Like it's safe.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary. Oh, yeah. But I thought what was interesting is Lauren texted the teacher to be like, hey, this is happening today. Can you let us know? Because like Sloan goes through these like moments of like really needing that those emotions and feelings. And then, she'll be like surprisingly like Jason, I know Jason's here in the, when we were in Colorado, we did some like whitewater tubing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of intense. It wasn't anything. It wasn't like crazy, but it was pretty intense. And Sloan's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna go. And we're like, what? And so she like did it, but so she has these like moments that just kind of like boil up, and it's like really cool to see. But this is really interesting for everybody because her teacher responded with like, yeah, we'll definitely let you know when she gets here and that she's safe. But she texted Lauren this, and you guys go check this out. I haven't gone deeper in this yet, but she texted Lauren this like, oh, awesome. And then you might like to see this. Cause like her school is also kind of about this, but it's like not connected with her school, connected with the moment. But her teacher had texted letgrow.org. Anyone familiar with this? Letgrow.org. I'm going to just read off. It looks like this right here, but letgrow.org, it's leading the movement for childhood independence. And what this says here, I'm just curious again, I don't even know like what's behind this. I could get canceled for like what this actually, where it's coming from. I have no clue. But it says, Let Grow champions childhood, helping kids build confidence, resilience, and self-reliance through independent play and real life experiences. We are making it easy, normal, and legal to encourage independence in kids. Yeah, there is that fear of like, I'm going to let my kid go do this. But like, is someone going to look at me as a bad parent, or like legally is going to be an issue? Like there was that parent recently who let their kid walk to the store to go grab something, and the mom got arrested because it was like, the kid was like maybe 6 or 8, like something like questionable age, I guess. But the cops came and arrested the mom for, childhood endangerment. So anyway, letgrow.org. I'm gonna dive into it a little bit and kind of let you guys know because I think it's a great movement to kind of look into. So 21 minutes in, we did a great job of talking about this page today.
Agreed. Very much so.
It's okay. No, we talked about anger, right? We talked about feelings, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was all
We've been
about.
talking about parenting the whole time.
Yeah. It's all.
I mean, this one is, it's a little bit of it I actually hit on my story. So, like the one of the first sentences is delay is the greatest remedy for anger. So like last night when I felt myself getting to that point and I felt like I wasn't going to add anything to this, even though I am like the math person in the family, I stepped away. I tried to delay my anger. I tried to excuse myself from the situation, calm myself down, do a little dishes, and then come back to it. But unfortunately, I think there was just too much in me. Like when I went up to bed, my head was just like throbbing, like because it transitioned from like what just happened to like the crap that's happening at work that's frustrating me, and you kind of get into that swirl, that spiral where you're like, yeah, and I did everything I possibly could to like just knock myself out of it. Like I just started like breathing like really heavily, um, and until I passed out. Not like not like held my breath and passed out, but just to quiet my mind.
Yeah, no, I think it is.
The background noise is cracking me up, by the way.
Oh,
He
sometimes
is
I'm
so
like, you can't
he
hear
is
it.
so intense today.
Oh no, it is. We have it's Fridays are intense. Oh, sorry. Sometimes I'm like, I thought you guys couldn't hear it, and then other times I'm like really like nervous about it. So no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Brofit's getting amped up right now. He doesn't even need a pre-workout. Like Brofit's ready to rock.
No, dude, they call this the hardest workout in the city for a reason. It is definitely intense.
Oh, okay.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna get into so like I definitely lost my cool yesterday. Okay, I know where I was gonna go. Yeah, so I definitely lost my cool for something dumb last night. Water bottles. Water bottles. Why do we need so many water bottles in our life? And then why can't my kids ever find the 17 water bottles that they each have? Where are they? Where do they go? Right. And so I've been trying to really help like Sloan. Like I know kind of like where we're kind of like where she's developing. Like she definitely has, a brain similar to me, like growing up where I needed things and I didn't get this. And so I'm trying to help her out, but like things broken down, like step by step. So I'm like, okay, it's bedtime. What do we do? Bedtime is water bottle, headphones, and then she gets her iPad or gets our iPad to set up her 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 music that she's going to listen to. It's just how things are. Like, do you have those three things? Versus getting in bed and be like, Dad, can you get me water? By the way, where's the iPad? Also, I don't think my phones are charged. So it's like what we do every night. And the amount of times that she gets up there after I've said those three things, and she's like, okay, I don't have my water bottle though, because I couldn't find it. It's like, then why did you get up into your, like because she has a bunk bed. I was like, but then why did you get up into your bed to get it? And she's like, because I didn't know where my water bottle was. Well, where's your water bottle? Like, what do you like? And so it's that spiral. And so like last night, one of those moments came up and I'm like, why is this happening? Like I'm tired from this past week. And I had fallen asleep before bedtime. Like I just zonked out. And so like I getting woken up, I don't do well in those moments. And so I woke up to take care of bedtime. I was like, where are your water bottles? And so I just kind of went off and I was like, stupid water. Like, why am I like, ugh.
Yeah.
And it makes me think about that moment of like, what does yelling do to a kid's brain? And it's like nothing good. I know that like personally and professionally and like all these things. And so it's like, I feel so dumb. And then I did this last night. Tell me if anyone has this. It's like, I know she just fell asleep, finally went to sleep. It was all good. And that guilt just sits there. Like, but like, why did I didn't need to. I crawled into bed and I just like held her as like, you know, she slept, and I was like, I hope she wakes up and knows that I'm here right now, you know. So it was like one of those tough feelings. And then I was leaving for the day before she was up, so it's like so I just mentioned this is that like the resolve, like there was no resolve, and I'm like, damn it, like that needs to be there. So my way to resolve that was just to kind of be physically close to her as I could. So
Just leave. I mean, so like you don't have the ability yet for texting, right? Because she's not there. But just leave a
yeah,
note. You got note cards, bud.
I did.
Leave a
I left
note. There you
always.
go.
Yeah, no, I did. I left a note. I set up breakfast and I put a note there. Right.
Oh
It
man.
wasn't a resolution. It was like, I hope you have the best morning. Like, love, Dad. Right. But still, like,
Yeah.
I want her to always know that Dad was there. But yeah, it's that resolution. So, but now it's another thing that I have to like go home. Let's resolve this. Like, how much do you bring this back up? Right. But yeah. Oh,
No,
this
I was just saying, just write it in the note. Sorry for
like,
last night.
I know. There's some, I don't know, something. Yeah, no, maybe I should do that. But the pause button is the bigger thing, and I would love.
Yeah.
Like I'm always like, I just want to like, I want a pause button that like, what was that movie with Adam Sandler, The Remote, where like
Click.
Things click.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. I need that, and like, I just want a moment where like, I could just pause everything because I know that it's in there, right? I just need to like, I need to work through the moment, but just like pause everything. What is my pause button? I want my pause button. And a pause button, I know, like, you know, I'm trying to find it. So I'd love if anyone else has these ideas for like these like pause buttons. Like one pause button I know for like Lauren and I that I'm trying to work through is this, like, I think a pause button is the fact of it's getting heated, let's stop, but we communicate better via text. So let's take this into text, like even if we're in the same apartment, right? But you know, if you guys have a pause button, like the breathing obviously is one thing. But yeah, I'd love to work on pause buttons together.
I like that. To think about that more. What's going on? Class ended. Your noise is gone. What's going on this weekend?
Is it that loud, really?
Dude, it was banging today.
Ugh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We got it. What did Dylan write here? Can't read the question. Ask myself, do my parents ever feel the way Ryan and Davey said? Yeah. No, I think Jels mentioned it earlier. Like, I have to imagine that they felt a certain way, but I just don't think it was normalized as it is in our world today. That we think about as parents how much effect we're having on our children and how much our children are struggling with the way that we parent or the way that the world is. So I'm not sure that our parents felt that way. Right?
I would have to accept. I don't know if it's as much of a hope as much as it is like, yeah, we're all human. Like we're more similar than we are different. So I would have to assume parents feel that guilt or felt that guilt when those things come up, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's giving some parents too much credit, but
maybe none of us just knew how to really put it into words. Like the child and the parent. Like right now I feel like our children are growing up and they're learning the words, they're learning the feelings and emotions like earlier than we did. You know, like they're much more aware of their feelings and emotions than we were at their age. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm sure it's good in the long run. It seems like it's maybe a little harder for them in the short term to have to be surrounded by all that and think about all that. Whereas I felt like I just went out and played.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, we are becoming, I think, more emotionally intelligent. I think sometimes to a fault. Sometimes to a fault, right? But you know, I think that it's necessary. If you don't do it, it's not going to be good. So, okay, I got you. All right, I have to go to my my client right now. It's 9:00. I have to respect his time, and I love you all, so I'm gonna run out.
Do it, buddy.
We'll talk to you all later. All right, take care, guys. Bye.
All right, man. See ya. Chat, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. appreciate all of you listening to my story. I'm getting better, right? We're all getting better. That's what this is for. And, one of the things that I thought about last night is, I'm excited, not excited, but I have this opportunity to bring this in front of my peer group so that we can talk about it, because I know that everybody else, all of you guys, are going through the same thing. So really appreciate you guys listening. Really appreciate you guys, um, you know, being there for me and helping me through that. And it's just another thing. Like, it's just a small little tick. Brooklyn and I will handle it. Like I said, we already talked about it this morning, but we'll get into it a little bit more. Get to compliment her on how good the homework did. Get to compliment my wife on being the badass that she is. I wrote in my journal today. I really wish I had her level of patience and empathy and understanding. Um, and as I wrote those words, I kind of laughed because I'm like, oh, maybe this is the way that I help her understand how good of a thing VFriends is, because honestly, I don't know that I would know some of those words or relate them into my life and parenting if it wasn't for VFriends. So, I'm always trying to look for these little ins to get Amy to understand how helpful this project, this IP, and this community is. So yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Um, you know that. Love you guys. Everyone have a great day. Have a good weekend. I would, Chelsea, and I will at some point, I promise. But yeah, we'll talk about that. We will. That was one of the things I actually wanted to talk about. So, anyways, kids forget and forgive, and we're intentional about sorry and growth. They love you, don't. Yep, I know. I know. I got you. All right, guys. Everybody have a good day. Go hug your children. Go love your children. All that stuff. Hearts with gratitude, mugs with coffee. I still have to think about that every time. But yeah, peace, guys.